Hello, Namaste. It's me, Yuvraj Neopane. Today, we are going to learn about one of the grammar topics, that is narration. In another term, we also call it direct and indirect speech. Okay, we'll begin our class with some examples. Let's see this example. Someone said, "I'm busy today." Yes, this is an example of direct speech. And let's see how we can change this into indirect. Someone said that he was busy that day. Yes, this is an indirect speech. Now let's see the above examples once again. In the above example, you can see there in the direct speech. Okay, in a direct speech we have two parts. One, the reporting verb, and the other is speech clause. Right? We have two clauses there. Okay, in the first part we have a reporting verb, subject and reporting verb, and then in the second part we have speech clause. Right? You can see here in the diagram also. Yes, someone said. This is what we in this part we have a reporting verb said, and in the next part, okay, I'm busy today, it is what we call speech clause. Okay, then what is a direct speech and how can we identify it? You can read over here. Yes, the actual words. By direct speech we mean the actual words or the sentences spoken by the speakers. It is enclosed within the quotation marks, double, especially we use double quotation mark or inverted commas. Yes, you can see an example over here. Yes, in the same example, someone said, "I'm busy today." Yes, the sentence, "I'm busy today," it is enclosed within the inverted commas. So this is what we call direct speech, and this is the actual sentence spoken by the speaker. Okay, what is an indirect speech and how can we recognize it? Let's see. When you report the words or sentences spoken by the speaker or someone else, we call it an indirect speech. For example, someone said that he was busy that day. Yes, we have reported this sentence and said in our own words. When we report the sentence spoken by someone else, we do not write the same words or the sentences. We modify. Yes, we make some changes and report the sentence in our own words. This is what we call an indirect speech. Now we have some things to be taken into our mind when we change a direct speech into indirect one. Yes, there are some things that we should consider. And what are those things? Yes, you can see here under things to be considered. Things to be considered while changing a direct speech into an indirect speech. Okay, you can see here one example. Kapil said, "I want to help you now." Now we can report this sentence as Kapil said that he wanted to help her then. Yes, you can notice here some of the changes that we have made. Yes, conjunction that, it is optional, so it is put within the brackets. Yes, you can notice this. Now let's move ahead. Okay, here when we change a direct speech into indirect one, we have to make some changes. And what are those changes? Yes, you can see here. Number one, we have to change the pronouns. Number two, yes, we have to change the reporting verbs. Number three, yes, we have to change the tense of the verb. And number four, we have to change the adverbs. These are the main things that we change. Okay, there are some other things that we may change, but mainly we have to change these things. Okay, changing the pronouns, changing the reporting verbs, changing tense of verb, and changing adverbs. Now, how to change pronouns in the in a speech clause, or when we change direct speech into indirect one, how to change the pronouns? Let's see some examples over here. I hope you will get some ideas. Okay, let's see first example. Himal said, "I want to be a teacher." This is direct speech. Now, how to change this into indirect? Yes, we can change it as Himal said that he wanted to be a teacher. Now in this example you can notice the pronoun I in the direct speech. Look at this, there is first person pronoun I, and we have changed it into he. Yes, from this you can get the idea that if we have the first person pronouns like I and we in the direct speech, we can we have to change this into third person pronouns like he, she, yes, they, as required. Now let's see the second example. They said we won the match. Yes, here we have the pronoun we. Yes, now we can change it as they said that they had won the match. Here the pronoun we has been changed into they. Yes, it is changed in third person pronoun. Now third example, the teacher said to me, you are good at English. And we can change this into indirect as the teacher told me that I was good at English. Yes, here we have the second person pronoun you, right? And this you has been changed into first person pronoun I. Yes, there is no any hard and fast rule about changing the second person pronoun. How to change the second person pronoun in the speech clause of the direct speech into indirect one. So it is I want to advise you, if there is second person pronoun in the direct speech, or let's say in the speech clause of direct speech, it is better for you to change it into third person pronoun. But you can also use their first person pronoun like I. Next example, let's see. Preeti said he is my uncle. Now you can change this into indirect as Preeti said that he was her uncle. Yes, third person pronoun we have, and when we have third person pronoun in the speech clause, no need to change it, or it remains the same. Yes. Now here you can notice the things. Now how to change? Study the following clues. I have provided you with some clues over here about changing the pronouns. When we have first person pronoun like I and we change it into according to the subject of the reporting verb. Yes, you can notice the example over here. For example, Hemal said, I want to be a teacher, and we have reported it as Hemal said that he wanted to be a teacher. Here we have changed this first person pronoun I into he, which is the third person pronoun, right? Now let's see the second person pronoun, how to change this. Yes, second person pronoun you is changed according to the object of the reporting verb, right? You can notice in the example over here. Let's see, the teacher said to me, you are good at English. There is an object me after said to, right? You can see in the example there, said to me, we have the object me. So you have to change this pronoun you according to the object of the reporting verb, right? So you can change this as the teacher told me that I was good at English. We have changed the second person pronoun you into I, right? Because here you can see me. Yes, we have object me, so it is changed into I. Third person pronoun like he, she, it, and they, no change. We do not change the third person pronoun from speech clause. It remains the same. Now we will move on to next. We learned how to change pronouns. Now, how to change the tense from direct to indirect. I have some clues for you. Yes, how to change the tense from direct speech into indirect speech. Yes, I have some made a chart for you over here. You can notice this. Yes, under direct speech we have the types of tenses, and under indirect speech, yes, we have the forms that we need to change into. Now look at the first point there, simple present tense, right? Yes, simple present tense, verb 1 or verb 5 from direct is changed into simple past tense. Yes, when the sentence or when the direct speech is in simple present tense, we change it into simple past tense in the indirect speech. Similarly, when the direct speech is in the present continuous tense, like is, am, are plus ing form of verb, or we call it also verb 4, you can change it into past continuous tense, that is was or were plus verb 4 or ing forms. Similarly, present perfect tense, that is has over have plus verb 3, is changed into past perfect had plus verb 3. Present continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense is changed into past perfect continuous tense, that is had been plus verb 4. Simple past tense, okay, indirect speech changes into past perfect tense into indirect. Similarly, past perfect continuous tense was were plus verb 4 changes into past perfect continuous tense. Okay, you can see other tenses and their forms, okay, that we need to change from direct into indirect. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, let's see, we have some examples over here. Yes, the first example we have, Gopal said Sunita dances well. Now we can change this sentence as Gopal said that Sunita danced well. Yes, dances, it is in present tense, we have changed it into past tense, danced. Now second example, he said I have passed grade 9. Now we can change this into indirect as he said that he had passed grade 9. Yes, have has changed into had, right? Have passed, it is in present perfect, we have changed it into past perfect, had passed. Now third example, she said to me I was watching movie. Yes, it is in past continuous, was watching, right? Now we can change this into indirect as she told me that she had been watching movie. Said to in the direct speech change into told. Okay, we change said to reporting verb into told in the indirect. You can notice this in the example. Now next, he said to her I will talk to you tomorrow. Now you can change this into indirect as he told her that he would talk to her the next day or the following day, right? Tomorrow you can change into the next day or the following day. Regarding the change of tense from direct into indirect, we have some exceptions. I mean, we cannot change the tense in a speech clause all the time. We have some exceptions in case of changing the tense. Now let's see what are those exceptions. Okay, we have first exception over here. The tense of the verb in direct speech remains the same in indirect speech in the following conditions. Now the first condition we have, if the reporting verb in the direct speech is simple present tense, that is verb 5, verb 1 or verb 5, present perfect tense has or have plus verb 3, or simple future tense shall or will plus verb 1, then the tense remains same in the speech clause in indirect speech. Let's see the examples. Okay, number A, he says I'm hungry now. Now let's notice the verb, reporting verb here. We have reporting verb says, right? So it is in present tense. Now we can change this into indirect as he says that he is hungry now. Yes, we haven't changed the tense in the speech clause, right? Yes, here the speech clause is in the present tense. I am hungry now. I am, right? It is in present tense. Now in the indirect also we have just changed the pronoun, but the tense is same. He is hungry now. Yes. Now number B, they say we have lost the match. Yes, let's notice the verb here, say, right? It is in verb 1 form or present tense. They say we have lost the match. Now you can change this as they say that they have lost the match. I hope you got the idea. Yes, we haven't changed the tense here, right? Have. It is in the same tense. Now next condition we have, if the speech clause talks about universal truth or general fact or habitual actions, then in this condition also the tense remains the same in indirect speech. Now let's see this example. The teacher said the earth goes round the sun. Yes, the earth goes round the sun. This sentence talks about universal truth. So we don't have to change the tense in indirect speech, right? So let's see how we can change this into indirect. The teacher said that the earth goes round the sun. Yes, goes, goes. There is no change in the tense. Number third, if the speech clause contains a proverb, right? In this condition also, the tense remains the same in indirect speech. For example, he said, slow and steady wins the race. Now you can change this sentence as, he said that slow and steady wins the race. Here we have the speech clause where we have a proverb, slow and steady wins the race. This is a proverb, and while changing this into indirect speech, we don't change the tense, right? Okay. Now we'll move on to next, how to change adverbials from direct speech into indirect speech. Yes, we'll see some examples first and then we'll move ahead, right? Let's see the first example regarding the tense change of adverbials from direct into indirect. The first example we have, the boy said, I'm doing my classwork now. Yes, the boy said, I'm doing classwork now. Now how we can change this into indirect? Yes, you can change this into indirect speech as, the boy said that he was doing classwork then. Yes, notice now in the direct speech, and it has been changed into indirect, into then into indirect. Now change into then. Number B, he said, I bought a pair of shoes yesterday. Yes, here look at the adverb used in the speech clause, yesterday. Now how we can change this into indirect? He said that he had bought a pair of shoes the previous day or the day before. Yes, you can change the adverb yesterday into the previous day or the day before. Number C, they said we will have a picnic tomorrow. Yes, we have the adverb tomorrow. Now how we can change this into indirect? Let's see. They said that they would have a picnic the next day or the following day. Yes, tomorrow changes into the next day or the following day, right? Now, okay, regarding the change of adverbials, I have a chart for you over here. I hope this chart will help you. Now you can see there, under direct and indirect speech, we have some adverbials, okay, that maybe in the use in the indirect speech. For example, we have today, yesterday, tomorrow, now or just, last, next, ago, thus, this, here, hence. Now, if the speech clause in direct speech contains the words, okay, like this, how can we change these words into indirect? Let's see. For example, you can change the word today into that day. Yes, yesterday, the previous day or the day before. Tomorrow, you can change into the next day or the following day. Now or just, you can change into then. Last, change into the previous. For example, last week, the previous week. Last year, change into the previous year. Next, blah blah blah. Yes, next change into the following. For example, next day, you can change into the following day. Next year can be changed into the following year, right? Ago, change into before. Thus, you can change into so. This is actually a pronoun. Yes, you can change this pronoun into that. This change into that. And this is also a pronoun. You can change into those. And here you can change into there. Here, there. Hence, thence. Right? Okay. Now, how to change statement? Yes, we have different types of sentences, right? Now we have, yes, we have statement or affirmative sentence. Then we have, okay, questions, right? We have exclamatory sentence. We have imperative sentence, right? Similarly, we have optative type of sentence. Then, okay, we'll learn how to change statement into indirect speech, right? Let's see. Okay, statement from direct to indirect. Let's see the first example over here. Sila said, I can play the marble. Yes, I can play the marble. This is a statement, right? Statement means, a form of sentence containing subject, verb and object, right? So how can we change a statement from direct to indirect? Let's see how we can change this. Sila said that she could play the marble. Yes, notice the use of that, right? When we change statement from direct to indirect, you can use conjunction that, and okay, other changes, okay, we have to make accordingly, right? Like the change of pronoun, change of tense, etc. Now next example we have, they said we are planning to go for a picnic. Now how can we change this into indirect? Yes, you can change this as they said that they were planning to go for a picnic. Yes, you might have noticed there that conjunction and okay, change of pronoun, change of tense, yes, as we have already discussed. Now number third, Prakash said the children are playing now. Now you can change this into indirect as Prakash said that the children were playing then. Yes. Okay, now regarding the change of statement, okay, or how to change a statement from direct into indirect. Okay, here are some things that you should take into consideration. It means things to consider. Let's see the points. Use the reporting verbs like said, told, replied, etc. When we change statement from direct into indirect speech, you need to use the reporting verbs like said, told, replied, etc. Right? Similarly, you have to use the conjunction that, but it is optional. And similarly, you have to change the pronoun, tense, and adverbials accordingly, right? As per the need. Now we'll move to next type of sentences, that is how to change questions from direct into indirect. Yes, questions. When we talk about questions, we have two types of questions, right? One is yes/no question and the other is WS questions, right? Then how can we change yes/no questions from direct to indirect, and similarly the WS ones? Let's see some examples first and then we'll discuss. First example we have, he said to me, are you a student? Now we have a question here. Yes, yes/no question. Are you a student? Now let's see how we can change this into indirect. Yes, he asked me if I was a student. He asked me if I was a student. Number B, the teacher said to me, do you know the answer? Yes, this is also yes/no question. Do you know the answer? Now you can change this into indirect as the teacher asked me if he knew the answer. Number third, the stranger said to me, what is your name? You can change this into indirect as the stranger asked me what my name was. She said to me, how old are you? Now you can change this as she wanted to know how old I was. Number E, he said to me, where are you from? You can change this as I asked him where he was from. Yes, now in these examples you might have noticed the use of reporting verbs like when the speech clause contains yes/no question, right? When the statement contains an yes/no question, then you have to use the conjunction if while changing it into indirect speech, right? You can see the examples over there. The example number first and second you can see there. Yes, A and B. And when the speech clause in the direct speech contains WS word, as in what is your name? Yes, you can use the same WS word as the conjunction, right? While changing it into indirect speech. Yes, you can see there the same thing. Now, what are the things to be considered while changing questions into indirect speech? Okay, I have some points for you over here. I hope these points will help you to understand it better. Now, first point, yes, use the reporting verbs like asked, inquired, wanted to know, etc. Yes, while we change direct speech, or let's say while we change a question from direct to indirect, you can use the verbs or reporting verbs like asked, inquired, wanted to know, etc. Similarly, we use the conjunction if or whether for yes no question and the same WH word for WH questions. You have to notice whether the speech clause contains an yes no question or a WH word or WH question. And third point, change the pronouns, tense and adverbials accordingly. Yes, it is similar as in other types of sentences. Now, how to change imperative sentences from direct into indirect? Yes, let's see the examples. Number A, the teacher said to the students, open your books. Now you can change this as the teacher told the students to open their books. Number B, father said to me, don't waste time. You can change this as father told me not to waste time, or father forbade me to waste time. Next, the old man said to him, please help me. Now you can change this as the old man asked, requested or pleaded him to help him. Number D, the commander said to the soldiers, shoot. Now you can change this as the commander ordered or commanded the soldier to shoot. Now, when you change the imperative sentence from direct into indirect, first of all you should know, okay, what type of sentence, or okay, for example, an imperative sentence, okay, maybe a request, an order, or a simple command. So you need to notice, okay, what type of expression is there in the speech clause, right? Whether it is a simple command or a request, whatever, right? So you have to use the suitable reporting verb according to the sentence given in the speech clause, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Here are some points to be considered while changing an imperative sentence from direct into indirect. For example, okay, first point, let's see. Use the reporting verbs like told, ordered, command if the speech clause is a simple command, right? You have to use the reporting verbs like told, ordered, command if the speech clause is a simple command. Similarly, you have to use the reporting verbs like asked, requested or pleaded if the speech clause is a request. And then use the reporting verbs like advised, suggested if the speech clause is an advice or a suggestion, right? Next one, they use conjunction to for positive command sentence and not or forbade for negative command. You can use the conjunction to for positive command and not to for negative command, right? Okay, now let's see how to change exclamatory sentence from direct speech to indirect. Okay, we'll first see some examples and then move ahead. Okay, let's see the first example. Muna said, hooray, I stood fast. Now you can change this as Muna exclaimed with joy that she had stood fast. Yes, you can notice there, exclaimed with, right? Number B, Madan said, alas, his father made an accident. Alas, yes, bekar, we say in Nepali. So when we express a sorrow or grief, you can use the expression like alas, right? And when you express your happiness or joy, you can use the expression like hooray, yes? Now, how can you change the sentence? Alas, his father made an accident. Yes, you can change it as Madan exclaimed with sorrow that his father had met an accident. Exclaimed with sorrow. Yes, because the expression alas expresses sorrow. Now third one, ouch, you stepped on my toe, he said. Now you can change this sentence as she exclaimed with pain that he or she had stepped on her toe. Yes, here you may refer to third person pronoun any he or she, right? So here you can notice the word ouch. The expression ouch is used to express pain. So we can change this as she exclaimed with pain that he or she had stepped on her toe. Okay, regarding changing exclamatory sentence into from direct to indirect. Okay, I have some things that you have to consider here. I have mentioned some points over here. Okay, let's read these points. Okay, the first point is use the reporting verbs like exclaimed with joy, sorrow, pain, surprise, etc. Yes, according to the need. First of all, you need to read the speech class carefully, okay, and you have to use the suitable reporting verb like exclaimed with joy, sorrow, pain, surprise, etc. Second point, use the conjunction that. And the third point, change the pronoun tense and adverbs as usual. Yes, it is similar to other tenses, right? Okay, then how to change optative sentences from direct to indirect. This is another type of sentence. Yes, we may be asked to change into indirect speech. Now, let's see some examples first. Okay, the first example we have, she said to me, have a nice journey. Yes, this is the, now you can change this into indirect as she wished me to have a nice journey. Second example, Kiran said, God save my child. Yes, now you can change this as Kiran prayed to God to save his child. Now third example we have, father said, be a great person my child, or my babe, you can say. Now you can change this into indirect as father blessed me to be a great person. Yes, or great babe. Yes. Now next example we have, he said to his enemy, you may go to hell. Yes, this is a curse, right? So you can change this into indirect as he cursed his enemy that he or she might go to hell. Yes, you know, when we use an optative sentence, we may be expressing our wish, or we may be praying, or we may be blessing someone, or we may be cursing someone, right? So you need to read the sentence carefully and then use the suitable verb as per the need, like the word, you can use the verbs like curse, right, wish or pray, etc. Now what are the points to be noted? Yes, let's see. When you change an optative sentence from direct into indirect, you need to notice these points, right? First point we have, use the reporting verbs like wished, prayed, blessed, cursed, etc. Second point, use the conjunction to or that. Next, change the pronoun, tense and adverbs as in the statement, right? This is similar to other types of sentences, or as in other sentences we do. Now this is all about changing the different types of sentences from direct into indirect. Now we'll move on to the next topic. Regarding the practice questions that I have provided you here, if you have any problems, any confusions, you can contact us, and you can consult us, or you can consult the Grammar School Private Limited. Yes, we'll be ready to help you at any time. Thank you.